So, I'm going to tell a great story, and it's a really, really cool story. I've always wanted to sit down and tell a story, to kind of record it, but I never have the time. So I'm driving right now from North Carolina back to West Virginia, and I'm going to tell the story while I'm driving. So, watching the road, but anyway, so when when Kenley was 2 years old, it was in 2015, early 2015. I loved to find videos on YouTube of different animals and different parts of the world. Like, we would look up safari animals, we would look up sea creatures. She loves to watch under the aquarium videos that are just set to music from the huge aquariums around the world. So I was looking for something new, and I typed in birds, and then I typed in butterflies to music. I found this video, and I'm pretty sure it was National Geographic video or something like that, and it talked about the migration of butterflies. So we watched a little bit of it. Kenley fell asleep, and I finished watching the rest of it. It was a long video about the migration of butterflies that I never knew before. Butterflies, when they we're talking about the monarch butterfly, they come out of their cocoon and they immediately start traveling south. And I'm in West Virginia, so we're talking anywhere from Canada on down. They try to travel thousands and thousands of miles to get to this place in Mexico. The video talks really, really good about how the butterfly doesn't know why it's going, doesn't know where it's going. It just knows that it has to go to this one spot to fulfill its life. And so they talked about how it could be 3 generations of butterflies before one gets there, because if a butterfly lays eggs and then something happens to it and it dies on the way, so it could be its grandchildren finally getting to Mexico, closer and closer. I just cried so hard at the fact that I think that's so indicative of our lives, that we feel like there's something bigger. We feel like there's something more important that we should be working toward. I hope that people feel that way. I hope that we don't feel like we are ever I hope that we don't think that we are ever done doing, what we should. In life. Sorry, I had a state cop passing me. So anyway, I just cried to this video because I feel like, what is it out there that I should be doing? And I pray about it, and I wonder about it, and I think to myself, what could it be? I know that there's something bigger. There's something bigger than me. There's something more awesome out there that I need to be working toward in life, helping others, or, not just doing the little mundane things we do day to day. I feel like we should all be doing something bigger than, what we know. And if you get to that point and you find that big thing that you, if you get to that place, it is euphoric. The butterflies all come to this one place in Mexico, and the pictures and videos of it are outstanding. I mean, it is unbelievable. Every bit of every inch of every tree is covered with butterflies, and they all look so happy to be there. They made it to the place where their bodies and their minds and their souls and their wings just took them. They made it, they got there, and it's a butterfly heaven. It is a butterfly heaven. So that changed me as far as thinking to myself, this little tiny insect can do it. This little tiny, beautiful, dainty soul can do it. I want to work hard no matter how long I need to flap my wings, no matter how many miles I need to travel, no matter how many things that I need to get through. I want to try it. I want to do it. I want to work toward the bigger picture, that happy dance. The people in the area of where the butterflies go in Mexico, they say that they can smell it coming, the season. They can smell the butterflies coming. A lot of them think that butterflies showing up mean that somebody who has passed is in their presence. And so the butterflies are carrying, this symbolization or this representation of a person who has passed. So they feel like, those, loved ones are coming that way, and they feel very lucky to be in that area. So it's definitely something to watch if you haven't watched, but I have more to this story that is just is unbelievable. So all of my life I've loved Cinderella. I became a Cinderella collector probably in the early 90s, I'd say. It started with, I used to collect Barbies, and I used to collect wedding Barbies. I loved bride Barbie dolls. I've always loved brides and gowns. And so I have a collection of bride Barbie dolls. One year, the bride Barbie doll that I was getting was a Cinderella, and I loved Cinderella, so I was really excited. Also, my mom had told me to start, we were getting some stuff ready for a yard sale, and I put in a Cinderella book, like a pop-up book, and she said, "Oh my gosh, don't put that in the yard sale, that's going to be worth money someday." So I think the combination of the two really made me starting collecting like Cinderella stuff. My favorite part of the collection is the books. I have books, Cinderella books from all different cultures of the world. Not all of them have to do with a glass slipper. Not all of them have to do with a pumpkin. They are just such an array of different things that, the same Cinderella story where, the little girl is being treated badly, but she's got a great soul and she's a beautiful person inside. And so when she gets to go to the ball, her outside beauty is changed, to bring all that out and to give her some attention. And so I've always loved that part too, because I feel like Cinderella was a butterfly. And so I kind of like tied that in. I love that same concept there. And so I have this huge collection of like Cinderella books, huge collection of Cinderella dolls. And so
in 2 miles, use the left lane to take the I-77 North, I-81 South exit toward Bluefield, Wytheville.
Get directions if you can't hear them. Take the left lane. Okay. So 2015 comes around, and I've seen the cartoon Cinderella quite a few times, and there's always these like questions about, well, how did they fall in love in like an hour? Because like she wasn't at the ball long. They didn't tell each other their names. Well, I mean, why wouldn't they tell each other names? I know they dance the whole time. Why did that shoe not fit everybody that wears a size 7 in the kingdom? I mean, there's just like these, you know, funny questions, just questioning the fairy tale. Not that I don't believe in the magic, but it's just those little funny, like, things you joke about. So 2015 rolls around, and my daughter is 2. We had already watched the butterfly thing, and I woke up that next morning thinking, I'm going to get a butterfly tattoo. I mean, I think people think butterflies are pretty, but now, to me, this butterfly had meaning. Shortly after that, the trailer for Cinderella, the live-action Cinderella, came out. And there were butterflies everywhere in the trailer. Butterflies covered her dress. There are golden butterflies on her glass slipper.
In a quarter mile, use the left lane to take the I-77 North, I-81 South exit toward Bluefield, Wytheville.
So, sorry, that was directions again, if you didn't hear that. But I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I just started loving, like...
Use the left lane to take the I-77 North exit.
With butterflies, and now it's tied into my favorite, Cinderella. So that was pretty cool. Awesome.
Continue on I-77 North for 1.5 miles.
Sorry, directions again. Okay, so the live-action Cinderella movie is coming out. I am so ready to watch this movie. So excited about it. It's got Lily James. It's got Cate Blanchett. Like, I'm super pumped about this movie. So I order another book. The book is the screenplay, the novel based off of the screenplay. So what they did was they made the movie script, they made the movie, and then they wrote a novel with all the similarities from the movie that was coming out. So I bought this book, read it in 2 days. It was a very short book anyway, I just broke it up. So...
in half a mile, merge onto I-77 North, I-81 South.
Okay. So, all through the book, butterflies come up. The first page, when I opened up the book, okay, so this is still like probably February of 2015.
Continue on I-77 North for 8 miles.
The first page of the book, of my new Cinderella book, had the quote, "Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly." And I froze in my tracks. I froze in my tracks. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is way too cool. The huge meaning of the butterfly. And I'm very spiritual about it. And this is, you know, the new Cinderella book. I have 200 books. This is the new one. The first page says that, about the butterfly. And I just remember being frozen forever, and just tears starting to roll down my face, like, wow, this is just amazing. So I read the book, and throughout the book there are butterflies. And I think they're tying it in because, you know, she's a butterfly and she becomes beautiful in the dress with the wing, you know, the dress being her wings, and, you know, the beauty coming out being like the butterfly coming out of what her potential is. The way that it's explained in the book, butterflies surround her while she's getting her dress spun into the new dress. Butterflies and lightning bugs surround her and sort of make this dress. Not like they're making it, but they like the fabric is woven with the magic of butterflies and lightning bugs. In the beginning, there's a thing about a little butterfly that Ella's dad gives her, Papillon, and brings her from his travels and gives her a little dainty butterfly. And it was just so crazy, so crazy, and I loved it. It was just fantastic. So then the next thing that happens is that we get a Dave Matthews Band CD every year. It's the Dave Matthews Band Warehouse series, and you get one every year as a Warehouse member. And it's just it's not a full album. It's usually like live recordings, and it'll just be like, maybe like 6 or 10 or 6, 7, 8 songs. It's not like an album that they're releasing. It's just like a Warehouse member perk. So volume 7, part 3, I don't know, I forget which one, but the Warehouse CD comes, and I remember it sitting there right beside the book on my desk, and I'm playing the CD, and about the 4th way through, I heard him say the word butterfly, and I thought, wait a minute, I've never heard this song before. I flipped to the back. Now I have every CD that Dave Matthews owns. I've been to, at that point, probably 23 concerts of Dave Matthews, and I had never heard this song where he was said the word butterfly. And so I flipped it to the back, and the last song on the CD is a song called Butterfly. So I look it up online. I go on dmbalmanac.com, which is the greatest website I've ever seen. These people do so much work. It's fantastic. If you like...
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 72 for I-77 North toward Bluefield, Charleston, WVA.
If you like a band, I hope that there's a website for you, just like DMB Almanac. So I go on DMB Almanac and I look on the lyrics, and again, I just start crying. I'm crying right now thinking about it. It is this beautiful lullaby that he wrote when he was thinking about his daughters. And it just is a sweet little song about dry off your wings and fly. And it's about getting through like the rough times, like even though there are things going on, dry your wings off and fly. And he's encouraging this little butterfly to take off and go do what it's going to do in life. And again, I feel like God is talking to me and going, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. I had never heard this song before.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 72 for I-77 North toward Bluefield, Charleston, WVA.
I had never heard the song before. I had never seen it on an album. I don't know that it was on any albums. It might have been on one Live Tracks.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 72.
You can buy Live Tracks, which is
continue for 74 miles.
So you can buy Live Tracks, which is a concert of his or whatever. And there's so many Live Tracks, and I don't have them all. I have a bunch, but I don't have them all. And I think it might have been on one Live Tracks that I didn't own, so I never heard it. I had never heard it in a concert. I think he had only played it at 6 concerts before. In all of the concerts that he had ever performed in the 20-some years, he had played it maybe 6 times. And so I couldn't believe, first of all, that there was an original Dave song that I did not know about. I could not believe that it was called Butterfly. And I could not believe that it was happening, like right in the same, few days as all of this was happening, with the Butterfly movie and the book, the new Cinderella book, and the quote, and the butterflies in the book. And this song is just so beautiful, and I just fell in love, and I listened to it 100 times. And we bought our tickets for the concert that year. Then we go to see the movie Cinderella, and it is just butterflies everywhere. The little butterfly that the daddy brings home is beautiful, and they have this conversation about a butterfly, and she twirls it around. There are butterflies on the wallpaper. There are butterflies in a glass case in the house. Just butterflies are everywhere in the movie, and I was just so happy about that because of the new meaning of butterflies for me. And so in the process of the movie being made, before we went to go see the movie, I had taken my daughter to take pictures on some big steps in our hometown, and I put the shoe back on the step, and I took her picture in the Cinderella dress, and her hair was up on top of her head. And this picture became my most popular picture to date. It probably has, 700 likes on it and shares and everything. And it is just my most popular picture, and people still, everywhere I go, say, "Oh, that Cinderella picture is my favorite picture of all time that I've done." People have told me they wanted it printed at their house. And so we had this, beautiful picture. And I thought to myself, I want a tattoo of a butterfly, but I don't want a butterfly. I want something more meaningful to me. So I'm going to get this picture of my daughter in a Cinderella dress tattooed on myself. I'm going to use the picture that she's looking back at the shoe with the shoe and the tattoo. And I'm going to use the dress from the movie poster. So from the waist down, her dress is the movie poster, which is this big, elaborate blue dress with all these underworkings, beautiful underworkings, and really pretty tulle and stuff underneath, and it's got this big back bodice to it. And so what I did was I took the basic outline of the bottom of the dress and designed the back of it to be blue and black monarch butterfly wings. So it still had the Cinderella blue, but it had the black of, and there are black monarch butterflies, but I don't know if it's a black monarch, it might be called something else, but I made it into what the blue and black butterfly design, wove that into her dress, and that's what I got tattooed. So I get the tattoo 2 days before, there's a puppet, 2 days before the concert, the Dave Matthews concert. So I go and I can still feel it on my thigh. It's a real big tattoo, love it. I'm super happy with the way that the tattoo turned out. I'm just so excited because there was so much hype around the picture, and I was excited to get that as a tattoo and also get the butterfly tattoo that I wanted, but I didn't get a butterfly. I got it woven into my daughter's dress, the Cinderella dress. My daughter, butterflies, love it. So I get this tattoo 2 days before the Dave Matthews concert. So we go to the concert, and there are these people walking around. I go with my regular crew, and we get in the car, and pause the video because I'm going into a tunnel, so you won't see light. Okay, so we're going to the concert that day, and we hop in the car. This big van. We hop in this big van with all of our Dave Matthews friends. We just always go to concerts with, and a big stack of CDs gets passed up to the front, and before I know it, the song Butterfly is on. First song that we heard that day, and I was like, wait, what? How did that happen? And John, my husband, had found it and put it in, and I said, how did you? And he said, I knew that would be the one that you want to hear first. So he had looked through the CDs and found it and put it in. So that was a great surprise for the day. Kicked off a great day. Like, we had such a good time hanging out before the concert. And I'm sitting around, we're hanging out, we're tailgating basically for the concert. And I'm telling the story about the Butterfly song and how unbelievable. You know, I had never heard this song. Has anybody heard this song? Well, not until today, because we just played it. Yada, yada. Nobody had ever heard it. It was just like, do you guys know what the song is? It's really cool. It's really pretty. Telling them about the lyrics. And then I tell them the story about watching the Butterfly video, reading, you know, getting the Cinderella book, the quote, the tattoo, the butterflies, everything, how awesome they are. How just symbolic of, you know, life it should be. It's just beautiful. And everybody knows the butterflies are just, you know, awesome. So we're all talking about this at, you know, the tailgate or whatever. So we go into the concert, and we're sitting there on the lawn. We had just gotten there, and these people were walking around selling water bottles. And I had never seen people selling merchandise in the lawn before. But I was like, yeah, that's a cute water bottle. I like it. It was the blue with design on it. I think, I forget what the design was, just Dave Matthews Band. And so they were like, it helps the kids. I don't know, some charity was doing it. And so, or the proceeds go to charity. And I was like, yeah, I'll take one. It's $10 and it helps the kids and it's a cute water bottle. Yes, thank you. So the guy had said something about, like, if you scan it, da-da-da-da. And he started to walk away and he goes, are you going to scan it? And I said, no, I don't know what that means. And I guess people have scanners on their phone, but I didn't at the time. And he goes, well, I'll scan it for you. If you win, you get pit tickets. And I was like, okay, who wins these things, right? Scanned it. I won the pit tickets. I won the pit tickets. And for a second, I thought to myself, I'm not going to go. I would miss my friends. But then I saw where the pit was. The pit was placed in front of the first row. Okay, people pay hundreds of dollars to sit in row 1. That is not row 1. The pit is up on the stage. People stand with their hands on the stage. That's the pit. Bye, friends. So I get 2 tickets to the pit. We go and we get our beautiful Cinderella blue wristbands. They are sparkly, they are beautiful, and they say pit on them. We go down to the pit, and I absolutely cannot believe how close we are. The first thing, we're standing there, and of course, you know, you try to scooch up as close as you can, and you don't want to make anybody mad, but if anybody moves or goes to the bathroom, you know, everybody's squishing up, and like, we had gone to the bathroom beforehand, so like, we were just like, inching up, inching up, inching up. And the band usually always starts with a huge ants marching or Crash just to start off the whole concert. This year, June 6th of 2015, he came out at First Niagara Pavilion, acoustic. Dave Matthews came out solo, acoustic. He sat on a stool 10 feet from me, and he opened up acoustic for his own show. I was like beside myself, super lucky, so excited about the whole experience of the pit and like getting that close, and being solo acoustic is just so sweet because he plays just like by himself, you know, just the guitar, and it's just not crazy and people aren't like dancing all over the place. It's just sweet, and I loved it. The second song he plays for his acoustic opening, Butterfly. And I knew at that moment that that performance was for me only. I knew every single word to that song. Nobody else around us knew what song that was. I was crying so hard just standing there listening to him play Butterfly. Just tears pouring for the euphoric feeling that it gave me, that I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe that this was happening. And so my phone's blowing up like, isn't that the song you were talking about? And my husband's saying to people around us, this is her favorite song. We won these pit tickets. She's okay, I promise. I was just crying so hard. Trying not to be a baby, trying not to do an ugly cry, but just wanting that moment to last forever. And I feel like I did sort of freeze it in time in my memory. And toward the end of it, I think I might have, pulled out my phone to try to record a little bit of it, but I just, for the most part, wanted to take it in and just enjoy it, because the whole thing was just so unbelievable that, I mean, nobody there knew what song that was, and that's weird because it's a song of his, and everybody there knows every song that he has. And we were telling people it's called Butterfly. It was just on the, Live Tracks, Warehouse CD. And I just couldn't believe I was 10 feet from him and he was playing this song. And at one point I thought he looked at me, and after the song was over, he flicked out his guitar pick and it came to me. The guitar pick hit me, and then it fell to the ground, and I was bending over and crying and thinking, you have got to be kidding me right now. You have got to be kidding me right now. I'm the luckiest Dave fan that there is. This is just unbelievable. The whole thing was just unbelievable. So, after that, just things just continued to show themselves. Like, butterflies are just everywhere. If you love them, you see them everywhere. If you don't, you don't see them, but they're just everywhere. They really are. And you'll see a butterfly flying. Of course, it's beautiful. But if you're a butterfly lover, you see, all kinds of stuff like at the mall to get and things like that, like things you can buy and things you can have, and just butterfly decor. My mother-in-law was a huge lover of butterflies, so she had them everywhere. on purses and on napkins and things like that, you know, like towels and things. And I'm not a decor type of butterfly person, but I definitely like it, you know, appreciate the beauty of it. So it just is a great, great story. I know that if you're still listening, it probably is hard to believe, but everything can be proven. You know, it's like when the book was released, and I got it as soon as it came out, and when the Warehouse CD was released, and I got that as soon as it came out, and you know, it just is like one thing after another happened, and I know that it was for me to believe in that bigger thing. For me, it's God, and for me to trust in His plans, that He has something for me. He has something bigger for me to do, and I have not yet grown my wings. My favorite quote is from Coco Chanel, and I got it for graduation. It's an angel that hangs in my mirror, and it says, and it's hung in my mirror every single car that I've had since I was 17. The quote is, "If you were born without wings, do nothing to prevent them from growing." And it's on this little angel with these beautiful wings. It's a pewter angel, and it's a quote by Coco Chanel, my favorite quote. And so I know that all of these things happening were just solidifying, you know, the beauty of believing in that bigger thing, and knowing that something big is coming to me and to all of us. And the story, I hope, inspires somebody to believe that no matter where they are, no matter what situation they're in, they can always grow their wings, and they can always get to that bigger place, that butterfly heaven, that place where everybody is happy. And it just is a beautiful story, and I'm glad to finally get to put it all in one place. So yeah, that's my butterfly story. So that's it. If I have anything else that I think about, I feel like there's something that I'm missing, but I think that might be it. So yeah, have a wonderful day, and always believe that you can be that butterfly.